And looking at bigger picture, what about the state of the Foreign Office here? How well equipped is it to manage a crisis like this? Obviously, we've got the MOD suffered huge cuts. Nonetheless, Ben Wallace seems to be providing very strong leadership, many would say. What about the Foreign Office? Is it so depleted that it can't really cope with a crisis like this?
Well, I think it's very depressing what's happened right across British defence and foreign policy. You're right, Ben Wallace has done a good job, and he seems to be really coming into his own. But the truth of the matter is that we have eviscerated our military and our foreign service, not just over the last 10 years, but over the last 30 years. So all the capacity that we really had militarily to deal with land war in Europe has been run down. Tanks have been got rid of, things like heavy bridging capacity has been abolished, and people got obsessed since the time of David Cameron with the idea that everything was about a tilt towards Asia and China. Huge investment went into completely unnecessary aircraft carriers, fantasies about the British Navy, and we totally took our eye off the ball of conventional land warfare. So that's one big problem. The second problem, as you say, is the Foreign Office itself. It's very sadly, no government seems to be prepared to say that we need a decent Foreign Office and that we need to spend money on it, because the story in the Daily Mail is always ambassadors quaffing champagne and residences. Nobody wants to increase their budget. But the truth is the French spend nearly twice as much on their foreign service as we do. And if we're serious about global Britain, we need diplomats who speak other people's language as well, who spend a long time there and have people on the ground.
So we're a bit tight on time, but I wanted to ask you to what extent you think what's happening now is our own fault due to a lack of strategic vision and weakness over the past decade.
I think it's certainly the fault of the West cumulatively. So it's the fault of the United States, the United Kingdom, Europe, in our very, very bad response to Crimea, our very, very weak and uncertain response around red lines on Syria, and the catastrophic withdrawal from Afghanistan, all of which convinced Putin that the West was in decline. He talks about this a lot very openly, that he wasn't going to face any opposition and that he had an opportunity to do something quite as horrific as invade another country in this way for the first time since the Second World War. And that shows nearly 15 years of pusillanimity and weakness and lack of conviction from the West.